Gene Derfler and Peter Courtney were in the, Peter Courtney was the representatives for the ward. It had different boundaries at that time. And Gene Derfler owned a business in the area. Both have emerged to become president of the Oregon Senate. But we worked hard together back then, and we maybe laid the groundwork, but it took somebody else to come along and implement these plans and make them a reality. And I think we can all take a certain amount of pride today in saying that this is the beginning of a new beginning for Grant neighborhood and North Salem as a whole.
Today is the 18th of May, and it was exactly 1 year ago tomorrow that there was a meeting in the city city manager's office, and the issue at that time was we need to either get going or give it up, because we were not making the sort of progress that is necessary in a project of this complexity to get it going. It is complex, it's expensive. We're now at about $12.2 million, and with your permission, I'm going to acknowledge some of the people involved because many of them are here. I would guess overall there may have been 200 people involved so far in this project, and that's not counting the 200 or so attorneys and accountants that are involved on the side. First and foremost, our financial partners. Deborah Sawyer Parks is here from Homestead Capital. They bought the tax credits that are provided by Oregon Housing and Community Services, and I see that Jack Duncan, as I name people, just if you would raise your hand so others can note your presence. Jack and OHCS have been instrumental in providing the tax credits that are necessary here. We have loans from Community Bank, who's located in Joseph, but also from Pioneer Trust Bank, and Pete Fosterman and Steve Nass are here representing Pioneer Trust Bank. The YWCA has a substantial investment. You've already met Carol. Our board has supported this project. We're making an investment as well, and I'd like to acknowledge two of my directors. Brian Johnston is here, and also George Puentes, representing Telos Development Company. Thank you, gentlemen. Jim Kerr is not here. He's in Seattle. From the Y board, you've already met Carol and Gwen. Linda Gertz is here, who's been instrumental in helping us with programmatic stuff. Julia Maccabee, who is the project coordinator for their fundraising effort. Their board of directors and trustees have been very, very supportive. And believe me, this is a difficult process. They have had to show great faith a number of times, and they have made their choices, and we're thankful for that. We have a good partnership. Salem Alliance Church is here. Tim France is in the back. They have really been helpful in working through some of the problems with the site, and particularly in helping us with our parking problem by providing some spaces on the other side of the Rawlinson's building. Let's see. The Grand Neighborhood Association deserves a great deal of credit. This is a hardworking group of community-minded activists, and Terry Frohnmeyer is here as a co-chair. Sam Skillern is not. Jay Howe was instrumental. Grant Foster from Grant School was very helpful. Gene Boatwright and a number of others have been very, very helpful, and they have worked with us to help transform this neighborhood and design this building. Our consultant team is here. Bob Caboose-Ryder is here from Mulvaney G2 Architects, who designed the building in general. Lisa Mance is here from Arbuckle Costick, and she and Alan Costick were helpful with regard to helping design the YW space. Our financial consultant, Thomasina Gabriel, is here from Portland. Some of our other people are not, and that's okay, because they charge by the hour and they have to drive from Portland. The city people. There are so many city people that I have to thank. I know Tim Burling is here. He's already been introduced. The Bryce Bishop and Glenn Gross from Community Development. The Planning Commission, believe it or not, heard 3 separate hearings on this site relative to land use issues. Very helpful. Mike McLaren, as I mentioned, the Chamber. I want to make special note, there's a couple standing over here to my left in black, and that's Tyler Parsons and his wife Louise. Now, many of you may not recognize Tyler. He is our surveyor. He lives in Corvallis. But Tyler probably knows this site better than anybody. I'm willing to bet we have sent him out here at least 30 times. And I'm not exaggerating, because with the street vacations, the boundary surveys, the taking by the city on Market Street, PGE, every time we thought we had the site defined, somebody would come up with a different variation, and we'd have to ask Tyler come down here and do it again. He's done a great job, and he's been most responsive to our needs. I want to point out the Dalkey crew. Ken Dalkey, Larry Dalkey, and Jim Shees are here. They are our contractors. Actually, Ken and I went to junior high and high school together, so we go back a long way. But they're good people. We're looking forward to working with them here and also across at the Eagle site. So I believe that pretty much does it. These projects are an element of faith and determination. Every project of this type requires faith and determination. And nobody better personifies those two words than our next speaker, Deborah Sawyer Parks. I've been had the good fortune to know Deborah now, I think, going on 12 years. When I was a young city councilor, one of her board members called me and asked me to join her board. It was then known as OCA, the Oregon Corporation for Affordable Housing. I had no idea what affordable housing was. I had no idea who Deborah Sawyer Parks was. But at that time, they were working on their second $20 million of capital. That was in 1985 or 95 and 96. Today, Deborah and Homestead have raised and invested nearly $500 million in the Northwest, primarily the Northwest, but also in many of the Western states. She is a woman of great grit and determination. She's a profoundly well, Deborah is the real deal, and if you ever want to get your mind right, then you just need to spend a few moments with Deborah Sawyer Parks. Deborah.
2 years ago, I was in Carol's office, and I promised her that if this deal came forward, that we would be there. I said, just let me know what you need, what you want, we'll be there. Well, I'm delighted to say that we are here, and the nearly $7 million that we're putting into this development isn't enough. It really isn't enough. You all know that there's a shortfall, so before we leave today, I'm going to take up a collection to help raise the additional money that's necessary for this project. Now, all jokes aside, I mean, that's true, but I have to tell you, it is absolutely our privilege and our pleasure to work with Telos again, to work specifically on this project with you, Carol, and you, Madam Mayor, and you, the community. It's Homestead's privilege and pleasure, and I can't wait for the grand opening party.